Overrated, huh? Man, people will be mad.
All right, welcome to episode 1 of the Pop War Face-Off. We're here with Joey from FAERIE Ring, a doom stoner hard rock band from Evansville, Indiana.
What's up?
Is that a good classification?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So everything at Pop War is presented in the context of one thing versus another, hence the name. So there must be a winner. In this show, we'll do a lightning round face-off where I will present to you 2 related songs, albums, or artists, and you pick a winner, no explanation needed. This is just a quick exercise to give our audience a handle on your tastes before we get going. At the end of the lightning round, I'll give you 2 more to sit on and just stew on them for a while.
Got you.
At the end of the interview, we can analyze both if you want to go over them. If you're undecided, I can talk you through it, but you'll pick a winner at the end of the episode.
Cool.
All right. So lightning round starts now. Fear's the Record versus Milo Goes to College by the Descendants.
Fear.
All right. Opening tracks on both bands' 1986 albums, Wake Up Dead by Megadeth versus Battery by Metallica.
Battery.
Madonna versus Michael Jackson.
Oh, man, that's Michael Jackson.
Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison versus I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly.
Return of the Mac, easy.
Kiss's Animalize versus Psycho Circus.
Oh, man. See, what's on Animalize?
Crazy Nights, maybe? Is that on there?
I don't know.
Is that a pass?
No, because I love Kiss. I have a soft spot for Psycho Circus, actually, because I was like 16 or 15 when it came out, and I actually loved that record.
Right age at the right time.
Yep, let's go.
All right. Both from 1994, No Effects, Punk and Drublick versus Rancid's Let's Go.
That's Let's Go.
All right. Houdini by Melvins versus Sound of White Noise by Anthrax.
Melvins, let's go.
Classic reggae hits, The Harder They Come versus Pressure Drop.
Pressure Drop toots.
All right. From the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack, Party Time by 45 Grave versus Dawkins' Dream Warriors from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Tim Denton would kill me if I didn't pick Dream Warriors, so let's go.
I might as well. Okay, 2 bands with slick production for their time and a fascination with spaceships, ELO versus Boston.
What am I picking? Just which one kicks the other one's ass?
Yeah, that's
Let's
it.
see. Well, Boston has smoking, so let's go with Boston.
All right. So here's the one I want you to think about and save until the end. This
Okay.
face-off is between 2 sophomore albums by wildly different bands that share arguably the same level of cultural significance. And I'd argue that both of these records do a great job of debunking the myth of the sophomore slump. So we've got Sabbath's Paranoid versus Ramones' Leave Home. Sit and think about that one for a while.
Okay.
All right, so now that you're sitting on that, let's talk about sophomore albums. Weary Traveler is FAERIE Ring's second album. I think it also serves as a big improvement for the band from the first record. So tell me about the album. Did you guys go into it with a strong sense of needing to one-up yourselves?
No, but we knew right away when we started early writing the songs, getting the riffs together, that it was going to be better. Because we added James, you know. See, on our first album, he was added a year or 2 after we formed the band.
Right.
So we already had probably half of our first record written before he even came in. So he was involved in a few songs in the writing process on our first album, but in the second album, he brought a lot. And his brother Alex did as well, who took over for our original bass player Alex, who had a child and gave up the reins. So, but when we added both of those guys, the music like improved drastically. And we really wanted to focus this time on improving the recording quality.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get out of the basement and into a professional studio. So that was the goal with this second record.
So speaking of that, you guys worked with Alex from Coven. Was that, did he just come with the studio?
Yeah, he works.
Or was it like, did you guys seek him out?
No, he works at Postal Recording in Indianapolis. And in his spare time, he's the keyboardist for the classic occult rock band Coven. And but yeah, when he's not touring at Spain with them, which is where he's at right now, he works at Postal Recording in Indianapolis. So he's one of the 2 engineers, and Alex and James had both worked with him in the past.
Okay.
And they, with several bands actually, and they always got along. They said he was really cool. So, and he's into cool music and weird and heavy and different stuff. So we knew we wanted to go see him, and it worked out.
Cool. So did he have like a big imprint on the record, do you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He plays on it.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. All of the keyboards, synthesizers, was all him. Played by him on real, true analog equipment, like Oberheims, and I don't know what these things are, but the keyboard guys did. And so he busted out all kinds of fancy keyboards and stuff and made it sound wild, synthesizers. And so yeah, we used some really cool stuff, and he definitely had a hand in shaping the sound on this record for sure.
And you guys recorded to tape, right?
Yes. Mostly in one take. It was all live. We only had a few songs that took more than one take. Like, it was wild. We drove to Indianapolis at 7 a.m. We got there, got out of the van, set our gear up, and I'm not joking, a half hour later, we had recorded the first song.
Holy shit.
And
that's pretty awesome.
It was wild. Alex told us, we'll just start running tape. You guys just try your first song. And I was just taking it as a warm-up, And we got through, and he's like, well, did anybody mess up? And we're like, not really. He's like, okay, cool, we got a take. And I was like, seriously? And so yeah, we listened to it as a band, and we liked it. So I would say more than half of the songs came out as one take. And then we obviously went back in and added things later, but the main stuff was mostly a one-take live session in one day. So it was wild.
It's funny you mentioned that, because like listening to the album, one of my thoughts is like, this feels like a live show. Like, it's almost hard to distinguish when a song ends and the next one starts.
Yeah.
But I noticed listening to it last night, a lot of the songs, when they do start, you hear that like tape start up in the middle of feedback. And it made me wonder like how much of this was like James just creating feedback before the tapes rolling, and he's like, shit, I need to start this. Like,
I couldn't tell you, but James is usually always making feedback. So
right.
That's, you're probably right.
So obviously the type of music that FAERIE Ring plays appeals to stoners. Mm-hmm. So how important is cannabis to the listening experience of your record?
I mean, it's going to enhance it, but many people who don't smoke still like the shit. So,
I don't think I've listened to it high.
Well,
and I still enjoy it.
You don't have to, but it's recommended. But no, I mean, we all smoke, and we always have. We don't necessarily sing about it or anything. We're not obvious about it, but we've been lumped into the stoner rock genre, so we run with it. We're not afraid of it. Kyle made a guitar bong, so he actually has a flying V that he can smoke out of.
Nice.
And he did that on 4/20, I think 2019. We have live footage of him smoking his guitar during a concert, so that's
hell yeah,
pretty cool.
So most of the band comes from like a background of playing in punk rock bands. Mm-hmm. How do you think that carries over, like your background in punk rock, how does that carry over into playing like riff-oriented hard rock? Is it a challenge?
No.
Does it come naturally?
No. For me personally, I've always played in punk bands, which usually means playing faster or sloppier and not worrying about that, and that's part of it. With this band, I can just play slow, steady, and loud. you know, so I can slow it down and just concentrate on hitting hard and coming up with a cool beat instead of just playing as fast as I can or trying to keep up, because I never really was that fast at drums. But it's different, but just, I don't know. If you can play punk music and you're good at it, you can play rock music. It's all the same. I mean, we're not playing anything that complicated. It's all just hard rock music. I mean,
Right.
We're not too far off from AC/DC. I mean, seriously. And they're not that far off from punk, so
Definitely.
that's just my opinion.
So I think there's two types of great drummers. There's ones that are great at what they can do. You know, your Neil Peart, what have you.
For sure.
And there's ones that are great for what they don't do. They may still be great technical drummers, but they're not showy.
That's my favorite.
You definitely fall into that category.
That's what I go for.
Not doing a lot. So like, who do you look for? Who do you look to for inspiration as a drummer?
Dale Crover from the Melvins, even though he kicks my ass. Bill Ward from Sabbath. Artemis Pyle from Leonard Skinner. I like everybody. I like Ryan Mann on drums.
Amen.
No, I don't have any like huge. I mean, those are my drum influences. Dave Lombardo from Slayer, but I don't really copy any of them.
Sure.
Those are just my favorite drummers, you know. I guess that's all I got for you there.
That's good. So you guys play pretty fucking loud.
Yeah, that's part of the gimmick.
Right. So like, what effect does excessive volume have on your music? Like, does it make you play harder, and does that in turn make it more exciting for a crowd to watch you?
I mean, the louder you are, the more the people are gonna feel you. You know, I hate
Fucking cars.
Yeah, I hear it. No, I personally hate when I go see a band and they're not loud enough.
Right.
I mean, why am I at the live concert if it doesn't sound alive? You know, give me some volume, and give me some action. Give me some performance. You know, don't just stand there. And we try to bring a insane volume with a stage presence. You know, James and Alex both are usually just losing their minds. Kyle, he looks like he's in a trance, which is cool. He'll close his eyes and just play a solo, and I'm usually having a panic attack in the back, like staring at my hi-hats, but I'll be headbanging, so I look cool. And but yeah, the volume helps a lot, and we use, you know, all vintage loud ass equipment, powerful stuff. And I'm not the amp guy, but they could tell you more about it. But it's loud for sure.
Challenging playing over that.
Yes, and as long as I get mic'd up properly, you know, with snare and bass, I'm good. But on the smaller shows we play where I don't get mic'd up, yes, I have to really give it my all to be heard over that band. But that's part of the fun of it.
Right.
And I just buy giant drums and giant cymbals and make it happen.
That's where it's at. All right, so now that you've had some time, let's discuss these two records. Obviously, I know you're familiar with both. Let's talk Paranoid first.
I love both these records.
Without picking a winner, let's just what's your history with Paranoid?
I love it. I love every song on that record. I love the album cover, the freaky, weird little guy in the woods with the shield and the sword. I love it.
When did you discover this record? What age were you?
Well, my dad put me on to Black Sabbath when I was a teenager, so I'd say 13-ish, probably, or 12, 13, when I really was like, this is the shit.
So you immediately were drawn to it?
100%.
Same.
From the start. I mean, I think I heard Iron Man first, which is on that record, and even though it's not my favorite anymore, just hearing that demonic I Am Iron Man voice at the beginning is like crazy, you know, and the riff is iconic and it's just great. So yeah, from the start, I love that record.
I've recently learned that there are younger kids, not like little kids, but like kids in their 20s that are extremely annoyed by that song. And it made me really
because
sad.
they've heard
it's
it so
overplayed.
much.
Yeah, I mean, it's I can agree it's overplayed.
No,
but
100%. And especially if you know where we're from, the tri-state area, the butthole of whatever the Ohio River Valley. Anyway, we have like 2 radio stations.
Sure.
And both of them are responsible for me pretty much hating most Led Zeppelin singles. And I feel for these people. I always said that if you never heard Black Sabbath on the radio or they had never been known and you just found Iron Man today and no one had ever heard it, it'd be the heaviest song ever.
For sure.
But, dumb radio DJs from Henderson and Evansville have ruined that song for many generations to come. So, but
Definitely.
It's still a powerful song. And,
Yeah.
But that's not even close to the best song on that record. So.
No, that's I was about 13 when I discovered that record, and in my mind, like there were bands that were technically heavier, but like nothing sounds heavier than that song. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I do.
It's like a warm blanket or something, but like
that's the sound. That's the Black Sabbath vibe.
Right.
And my favorite Black Sabbath song, or one, I'd say top 3, is on Paranoid, and that is Fairies Wear Boots. I absolutely love that song. The story is insane. Smoking and tripping is all that you do. I love it. I love that song.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, so Leave Home.
Love it.
When did you discover this record?
When I was 18 with Tim Denton. And when I graduated high school, he was still in high school. And every Saturday I'd pick him up and we did what was called Ramones Saturdays. And we would go to Coconuts or whatever local music place we could find, and we'd just buy one piece of Ramones stuff, merchandise, CDs, shirts, bobbleheads, everything. And we did that until we had the first 8 Ramones albums on the reissues that came out in the early 2000s. I think it was 2001 or 2. But yeah, we collected all those, and that's when I first heard the full album Leave Home, 18 years old.
Nice. Immediately huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a continuation of the first Ramones record, I think recorded in just a few months later. I think was the first one 76 and the next one 77 or something like that. But yeah, it's amazing. I love both the first 2 are great, but they're great companion records,
Definitely. So what's your favorite song on Leave Home?
Does that one has Carbona Not Glue, right?
I think so.
I love that song. And does that have Susie as a headbanger?
I think so.
Check me on that real quick.
I'm going to check you.
Because that would be the answer.
I can't believe that I have to look this. I can't believe that either of us are unsure about this, honestly.
I haven't pulled up that album in a while.
I haven't either. Yes, it does have Susie the Headbanger.
Okay. That will be my choice for favorite song on Leave Home.
Nice. What's the worst song on there?
Don't kill me, but I never really have liked the cover of California Sun.
Yeah, me neither.
And it's not that I don't like surfing and like, I just never have liked it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The riff is kind of annoying to me. Sorry, Ramones. But
so with that, what's your pick between the two?
Between those 2?
What's the better record?
I would probably choose Paranoid because it had a bigger impact on my life early on. But man, I love both of those albums. I mean, really.
It's a hard pick.
They're really good. Both of them are really good records.
Yeah. So Paranoid is the winner.
I would choose Paranoid.
Cool. All right. I respect your decision.
Thank you.
All right. So now if you have anything to add, to promote, to proclaim, now is your time.
Okay. When does this come out?
Like maybe a week from now.
Okay. I got a show tomorrow in Indianapolis, but you guys don't need to hear about that one. Let's see.
If anyone has a time machine.
You'll want to see this show tomorrow. We're playing with a band from Poland called Belzebong.
Nice.
Stoner band, obviously.
Hell yeah.
From all the way over in Poland, and it's going to be awesome. Also, we got July 22nd. We're playing the Mag Bar in Louisville. We got July 29th in Youngstown, Ohio. We got July 30th, Newport, Kentucky. And then August 5th in Waterville, Michigan. We're playing a van festival, okay, at a lake, a private van festival. It's vans only.
You guys going vanning?
We are. We are driving our van to Michigan. There is apparently a nude rope swing on the lake. I don't know if it's required that you be nude, but if it is, I'm doing it. We're playing Saturday night. It's a 2-day festival. Vans, fun, drinking, partying. It's called Lake and Bake. So check it out, everybody. It's going to be wild.
That sounds amazing.
Hell yeah.
Lake and Bake.
Hell yeah.
So are you familiar with the documentary Vannin'? Have you ever seen this show?
No, I haven't. I should.
Look it up.
I will.
It's yeah, there's like this whole van culture, and they have
for sure. I love boogie vans. There's a movie called The Van, also that our band. I think it's got Danny DeVito, and it's awesome. But my band uses that clips from that movie for promotion all the time.
Nice.
It's about smoking joints in the back of a van and getting babes.
I'm gonna have to try it out.
It's awesome.
All right. So before you go, we got one last section in the show.
Okay.
We need you to give us your hot take. So this part's only going to be available to our email newsletter subscribers.
Okay.
So if you're watching or listening right now, you'll have to go to pop-war.com and sign up for the email newsletter to get Joey's hot take, because we are going to edit his answer out of this episode. But take a second to think of one song, album, or artist that you think is severely overrated and give us a good alternative.
Overrated, huh? Mm-hmm. Man, people will be mad.
It's okay. It's a hot take.
Okay, well.
Interesting hot take. Joey, thanks so much for being our first guest on the Pop War Face Off.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Everyone watching and or listening to this, please look in the description or the show notes for links to go and check out FAERIE Ring on all the social media platforms, and more importantly, to buy some records.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for doing this, man.
No problem.
We did it.